Welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys had an awesome week, and I just want to say thank you again for the support on the channel, and I'm glad you're back to watch another video. So I've been seeing some stuff floating around on the internet and on Reddit and Facebook and all this other stuff about people who own new ball pythons and wondering like what they should eat. And there's a bunch of stuff going around on the internet. I am not an expert on anything, but I just wanted to share my experience with you guys, and maybe it'll help you guys out just a little bit on feeding your new ball pythons. So a lot of people are going on and asking, my 6-month-old, my 8-month-old, ball python looks really small and doesn't look like it's growing at all, or it's not shedding very much, or is it thin, or this or that. And just gonna share with you guys my experience on owning ball pythons. Again, I'm not an expert. I own a few ball pythons, but not a lot, and I think I have a little bit of knowledge to share with you guys on that. So my newest ball python, which will help you guys out, is my banana pied, and I got her little backstory. I know you guys say I talk a lot, but story time. So I got her a couple weeks ago, and she's only about a month or a month and a half old. So I actually picked her up before she even had her very first shed and her very first meal. So I know a lot of you guys are saying, why would any breeder let a snake go that hasn't even eaten yet? Well, I went to a local breeder and I told him, hey, I'm just gonna pick it up. I wanna have the challenge. I want to see if I can get a brand new ball python to eat on my own. And if I have any issues with it, he was more than happy to take the snake back for a couple of weeks, get it going on food. And then I would just, take it right back as it was eating food and no problems. But during that time, she shed out perfectly. And I gave her her first meal, and she's only had 2 meals with me, but both times she's eaten without any issues. I should say that. A lot of people I see are feeding their ball pythons mice, and nothing really wrong with feeding them mice, but you'll notice as they get older, mice is not enough for them. You might have to feed them 2 or 3 mice as they get to the adult size, but a lot of people like to go from mice to rats, and I like to feed all of my snakes rats from the beginning, just so that's what they know and that's what they're used to. Now, I know there's a lot of different things about ball pythons, and ball pythons suck at eating, and if they don't eat rats, they might eat mice, and if they don't eat either one, they might eat the soft fur, African soft furs, or whatever it is, and I would highly not recommend those because they can get addicted to those and hooked on them, and then they can be kind of hard to find, and they're expensive, and I don't know how big they get, but I would just say feed rats. And so a lot of people are saying that rat pups are too big of a meal for a egg or a snake, a ball python right out of the egg. And I have to disagree with that because I've already fed her twice, and it really doesn't even leave a lump in her body. I mean, it's a little noticeable, but it's not anything extreme, and she hasn't regurgitated. She's had normal bowel movements. And I just try to tell people, like, if you get a new ball python, try to feed it a rat pup because it's better for it in the long run. And if you can get it on rats, then it'll grow healthier or better. And if you're into breeding, that'll definitely help out with the breeding because they'll get up to size a lot faster feeding on the rats. Now, I mean, there is like I said, ball pythons can suck. So if it's stuck on mice or if it only eats mice, then that's basically what you got. But so here's a rat pup, and rat pups will not hurt. And oh yeah, sorry. So this is a live feeding, and if you guys are bothered by that, I don't know what to tell you, because sometimes brand new ball pythons will only eat live, and then you can try to switch them over to frozen thawed, but the majority of the time is they will most likely eat live consistently as their babies. So I took the hide out, I took the water out, so I don't know exactly how she's going to do on eating. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. But again, I would highly recommend, if you have a new ball python, to feed it wrap-ups. But that's just me, that's just my experience with it. And again, I've had good success with it. All of my snakes are on rats. They're growing very well. You've seen some of the older ball pythons that are, I mean, most of mine are around a year old, and they're actually doing very well. And so, I don't know, I would just personally say, if you just have a new ball python within the age of 2 to 4, 5, 6 months, do your best to try to feed it live, especially live, or definitely rats. But we'll see if she eats. I hope she eats, because I want to show you guys. There we go. Perfect. There we go. So this will be the third meal for her. And I don't like doing lives because I get a lot of weird people on here, and then I get a lot of hate and a lot of bad comments on here. But again, the rat pups are so small that you can technically leave a rat pup in with your snake overnight until it eats it, because they don't have the jaw power or the strength to do any damage to your snake. Now weans, I would say that's a different story, but we'll just watch her eat it, and then we can see the lump, just so you guys know that a rat pup is perfectly okay for a baby ball python. All right, so we can see that she ate it perfectly fine, no issues. And there is a noticeable lump, but it's not extreme, or it's not anything that's bad or too large. So you guys don't have to be feeding your ball pythons, even at 6 months, these small little mice. I mean, you can feed them rats basically whenever you want to. And hopefully, if you're feeding them mice, they do change over to the rats. But that's it. And I just wanted to show you guys that rats are perfectly fine. And if you found this video and it helped you out, let me know. And if you feed mice or rats right out of the egg, let me know also. I'd like to know who actually is feeding them, the rats, at such an early age. Other, breeders, and maybe also other people that don't breed. But that's it, guys. I appreciate the support on the channel. Hopefully you guys like this, and I'll see you guys on the next one.